this is a sample copy, but it's live on Amazon. Emotional Politics and Logical Failure: What Black Politics Refuse to Face. It is a complete audit of Black America. So in my 33 years in law enforcement and dealing with crime and violence and police brutality and yada yada, policy and procedure, you know, I found that my adversaries are usually ones that look like me. Usually ones that look like me. Police brutality cases is usually the Democrat-run city. When you talk about civilian complaint review boards, usually Democrat-run cities. Not so. What are we as Black people actually voting for?
Black Westchester publisher Damon K joins Atif Coleman on Mount Vernon News Center to discuss his powerful new book, Emotional Politics, Logical Failure, a bold look at how feelings over facts are failing Black communities.
See, we put Black people in office, and we sit here and we talk about the first Black this and the first Black that. Yeah, but they don't go in and change the systems that is needed. They manage the systems.
Right.
You had a DOJ report of the police department. You haven't heard anything from City Hall on how they were dressed. They just think that they got away with it because Trump got in and said, you know what? We're doing no more consent decrees. That doesn't take away what the report said.
Right.
It doesn't take away what you needed to change for your police department. It doesn't take away that. And people don't understand. You want a better police department, then you change the mayor. Listen, it's not rocket science. Right? And I ain't got nothing to do, you know, hey, Sean Eisenhower, you do your thing. I'm talking to the people. You want a better police department? Then you change the mayor, because the police commissioner works at the will of the mayor. And if she's not going to change the police commissioner to bring in a better police commissioner that's going to create up-to-date policies, procedures, and training, then you change the mayor.
Right.
That's looking at outcomes instead of being emotional about these identity, who the people is. That's why you don't see these issues in white communities, all white communities. There's some white people in Mount Vernon, but the majority get in through Black votes. Because we use emotional politics, and that's why we have logical failure.
I got you on that, and I appreciate that. All right, let's switch to your book. I really want to know more about this book. I want you to take, the last 5 to 10 minutes and just tell us quickly about, what inspired you, to publish. Give us some highlights. Go for it.
Well, yeah, this is a sample copy, but it's live on Amazon. Emotional Politics and Logical Failure: What Black Politics Refuse to Face. It is a complete audit of Black America. So in my 33 years in law enforcement and dealing with crime and violence and police brutality and yada yada, policy and procedure, I found that my adversaries are usually ones that look like me. Usually ones that look like me. Police brutality cases is usually the Democrat-run city. When you talk about civilian complaint review boards, usually Democrat-run cities. Not so. What are we as Black people actually voting for? When our communities look the way they look. So the book goes into our actual failures and looking at policy. And I go into different issues. I go into how we turned our back on the Black family, the Black nuclear family. I go into issues, the lack of morality in politics. I go into issues how how the Democratic Party lost the black male. I go into issues how do we vote for school boards, but they're not preparing our children. They're not preparing our children in vocational, electrical, plumbers, and these jobs that are very needed in our community. So the systems that we vote for, those people that we put in there, they're not doing the job, and we don't get the correct outcomes that we need to get. Every major city with a black politician came down, the DOJ came down on their police department. Explain that. If we're the victims of police brutality, black people, majority, that white people are victims too, but you put in a black politician, you would think that they will have the cultural identity and knowledge. You can't say Black Lives Matter and your police department is violating black people. That doesn't make sense. So the book goes into all these different policies and how we were put in there to fill the gap, but we didn't do our job. It's similar to Michelle Alexander's book, The New Jim Crow. But her book just dealt with the criminal justice system. What my book does is go into the broader case of politics and the logical failure of outcomes and policy and change in black communities. When we put our elected officials in the gap, we expect them to do something. And then we wonder why our communities look the condition that they're looking.
Oh, say that one more time. I enjoyed that.
Well, when we put politicians, black politicians, or any politician at that, when you give your vote, you expect them to do something,
Right.
not to manage the change, not to manage the condition.
Mm-hmm.
And you wonder why there's no change. But if you continue to vote the next cycle to keep that person in, then
Emotional Politics, Logical Failure by Damon K. Jones. If your vote doesn't come with power, it's just performance. Get the book that challenges everything you thought you knew about black politics. On sale now on Amazon.
If you found this video informative, don't forget to like and share it with others who need to hear the truth. And for exclusive content and behind-the-scenes access, join the Black Westchester Magazine YouTube membership club today. Your support helps us keep independent black media strong. Support independent black media with style. Rock Black Westchester merch and represent the news with the black point of view. Every purchase helps us speak truth to power. Thank you to everyone who supported us through Super Chat. Your contributions keep independent media alive and thriving. We couldn't do it without you. Black media, black truth, black freedom. Support independent black media. The Freedom Tea from the Publisher's Desk says what the system won't.
This is the Publisher's Desk with Damon K. Jones, brought to you by Black Westchester Magazine, where life, culture, community, and faith meet truth, power, and purpose.